The story begins with a boy named RL, about to be blessed with a class. His parents are super nervous, hoping he gets the most powerful skills. In this world, when a person turns 10, they are bestowed a class from a goddess in a blessing ritual. Ariel's sister reminds him that lineage plays a huge role in what class you get, which is great for him since his parents are famous. His father is the Archmage Leon, and his mother is known as the Sword Princess Farah. With such badass parents, expectations for Ariel are sky high. He closes his eyes for the blessing, but he sees absolutely nothing. The priest, confused, shocks everyone by revealing that Ariel must be classless. Later, his parents try to console him, saying he doesn't need to worry and that they'll simply work past retirement age so he doesn't have to get a job. Ariel doesn't like that kind of talk and says he doesn't plan on living off of them forever. In fact, he's not bothered at all, since he's been training in swordsmanship since he was little. He believes in the power of hard work, and you can bet the work was hard because his mother never took it easy on him. At the practice field, some kids are bragging about how their skills make their bodies move on their own. They mock Ariel for being classless, and he explains he's just there to train like everyone else. One of the snotty kids retorts that they aren't training, they are swordsmen because of their class. Ariel asks to spar against one of them, and the guys burst into laughter. Still, annoyed by his confidence, they accept. Before they start, they confirm that Ariel has divine protection, a blessing everyone gets at birth that works like a damage-absorbing shield. The kid is glad to hear this because it means he can beat him to a pulp without ending his life. The punk goes in for the first attack, but is shocked when Ariel holds his own. He tries again and again, with no success. Seeing the difficulty, his friend suggests they gang up on Ariel. The spineless kids attack at the same time, but our protag Ariel likes a challenge. He notices the boys aren't coordinated, making it clear they have no teamwork skills. Seeing they wouldn't be much of a challenge, Ariel decides to end the nonsense. He takes one of the kids out easily, and when the second one gets mad, he wipes him out too. Ariel declares victory, but the boys refuse to accept it. They were about to try again, but a red-headed swordsman stops them. He points out that real enemies don't accept whining and that real swordsmen know better. One of the kids is ready to fight him too, but the other explains that this redhead is a big deal. His name is Ray, and he deduces that Ariel must have inherited some talent from his mother because nothing else explains why a no class could fight so well. However, Ray points out that Ariel just beat up on some chumps, so he shouldn't let it get to his head. If he wants a real challenge, he should fight him.
The kids gossip that he's related to the head of the guard, and Ray confirms his father is Captain Evans. At that moment, Ariel remembers this guy. He's the one who keeps coming to this house to ask his mom for help hunting demons. Ariel never thought much of the guy, but this just infuriates Ray. His father is a master swordsman, but despite all that, Ariel's mother is still considered the #1 swordswoman in the village. It's pretty clear to Ariel now that this kid is mad at his mom and is planning to take it out on him. Ray explains that children inherit their parents' talents, so he will beat Ariel to prove his family is stronger. The talking is over and the two guys clash blades, while the other kids watch in amazement. To them, it's like clashing thunderstorms. How can a classless kid hold his own against someone with intermediate skills? As they fight, Ariel notes that Ray is way stronger than the others, but his rage is making his strikes sloppy. He takes advantage of this to find an opening, but Ray uses his twin blade slice to push Ariel back. Ray is impressed that he managed to block the first strike, but the second one lands clean. Ariel is shocked. He can't understand how Ray was able to attack from two places at once. The answer is simple. It was an attack skill. Twin blade slice unleashes 2 strikes in one swing, and someone with no class like Ariel couldn't even dream of defending against it. Ray acknowledges that Ariel has guts, but that this is as far as he can go. The next morning, Ariel tells his family he plans on doing more special training. His sister Esther says he doesn't need to work so hard, but our protag isn't interested and leaves. Esther's worried since he's been staying out late training ever since he came home all beat up. Their mother Farah takes her outside and shows her a chest full of broken swords. These are all the practice swords Ariel's using, making it clear that the fight lit a fire under him. In the woods, Ariel once again practices his strikes and demonstrates what he's been working on, the twin blade slice. And he's pleased when he lands it. This is when we learn that he fought Ray for hours and took several hits from the skill on purpose so he could learn it. Just then, a foolish goblin tries to sneak up on him, but just gets obliterated by Arel's new technique. He prepares to continue training, but is shocked when he hears a loud monster roar. He rushes off to alert the guards, but stops when he hears someone scream. He finds that the scream was from Ray, who seems to have been attacked by an extremely large goblin while training. Arel knows the danger. He needs to focus. Timing will be everything. Ray is giving up hope, apologizing to his father for failing. However, just then he's shocked when the monster gets struck by an attack. It was Arel, glad that his timing worked. But Ray isn't doing so well. His divine protection has run out, and he needs holy water immediately. Unfortunately, his was ruined, so Arel lets him have his. This does the trick and Ray recovers, but the only thing on his mind is what that technique was that Arel just used. Arel explains it was the twin blade slice, but Ray is insulted and refuses to believe it. The skill is a complex move that his family can only pull off because they have the skill. Arel agrees that it's complex, but that just meant he needed to dedicate more time and effort to learning it. Ray has no clue what he means, so he simplifies it for him. Anyone with enough strength and speed can do it as long as they get the timing right. What's ironic is that Ray is the whole reason Arel was even able to figure this out. Seeing and experiencing it over and over again is how he learned. Ray finally accepts it and decides that if that's really Arel's goal, then they should have their rematch right now. The battle begins shortly after, and Ray is stunned when his slashes get deflected by Arel's. Even more shocking, however, is that something strikes him, and Arel reveals that it was the third slash. Ray is furious because the attack's name clearly says there should only be 2 strikes, but Arel says that he isn't limited like Ray is. His twin blade slice isn't based on a skill, so it has no restrictions. Unlike Ray, Arel can change it up as much as he wants, depending on how hard he works. Ray has a hard time accepting all this and just boils it down to nothing more than classless fakery. Arel says they just have to keep testing who is stronger, and Ray is completely on board. Ray tries to watch the attack carefully to see the third strike, but Arel is just too fast. Arel wins once again, and points out that this is just like their first fight, except that Ray is the one on the ground this time. All Ray wants to know is why Arel's sword was faster again. Arel explains that his rapid improvement is all thanks to Ray. After seeing and experiencing Ray's refined technique up close again, Arel adjusted his swing and improved it. Ray finally comes to terms with his crushing defeat, and Arel finally claims his victory. A few days later, Arel's parents discuss how Ray has set off to the City of Swords. Fairy used to work there years ago. The place sounds amazing to Arel, so he hopes to go there one day. Of course, he has no class, so we can only wonder how strong he can get without one, and he wants to find out. And with that, the episode ends. So what do you guys think of our classless protag, Arel, and this rivalry with Ray? Do you think they'll become friends in the future? If you want the continuation, let me know in the comments that you want the next part. Smash that like button and the hype to support this video, and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next parts.